Lila Lopez's life unravels when a midnight email accuses her of stealing from Crescent City Medical Center's charity fund. The sender, a shadow, the cost, her career, her son's faith, and her freedom. In the heart of New Orleans, cryptic clues lead Lila to a betrayal by someone she trusted. With time running out, she must unmask the truth before it buries her, or lose all she holds dear. There is one detail that only the attentive notice. Did you notice? Subscribe. It will help us make content that you will watch. The New Orleans evening wrapped Lila Lopez's Garden District home in a sultry glow, but a chill of dread pierced her calm. At 42, Lila had forged a resilient life, balancing her role as Crescent City Medical Center's administrator with raising her 14-year-old son, Ethan. Her Creole cottage, adorned with jasmine and iron balconies, was a sanctuary since her divorce from Nathan Cole, a tech executive whose charm masked a ruthless edge. Tonight, that sanctuary felt fragile. Lila glanced at her phone, expecting Ethan's text from Coding Club. Instead, an email glared. Subject, "You're exposed." The sender was a cryptic string of characters. Her heart raced as she read, "Lila Lopez, you stole $50,000 from the charity fund. Evidence is with the board. Resign or face ruin." The words stung. She'd overseen the fund for years, ensuring care for New Orleans' poorest. Theft? Absurd. Yet the email's certainty unnerved her. She logged into the hospital's portal. The charity account was pristine, every transaction logged. But the threat lingered. Who'd target her? Lila's mind flicked to Nathan. Their divorce was civil, but his late child support and rare visits with Ethan hinted at selfishness. Could he orchestrate this? She dismissed the thought. Too malicious, even for him. Or was it? Ethan burst in, backpack slung low. "Mom, you okay? You look spooked." His dark eyes, mirroring hers, were sharp. Lila forced a smile. "Just a tough day, Miko. Coding Club fun?" Ethan rambled about a program, but Lila's thoughts churned. She couldn't tell him yet, not without answers. After he slept, she reread the email, forwarding it to her lawyer. The board met in 2 days. If this evidence surfaced, her 15-year career could crumble. Her phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Check vendors. Bayou events. Trust no one." Lila froze. A whistleblower or a trap? The next morning, at Crescent City Medical Center's lively atrium, she pulled the vendor list. There it was. Bayou Events paid $50,000 for gala planning. Her signature was on it, but she'd never seen it. Forged. The vendor's address was a dead-end P.O. box. The phone was off. Lila called Javier, the IT manager. "Can you trace a payment? Discreetly?" Javier paused. "What's going on, Lila?" She dodged. "Just a board check." He agreed, but his tone hinted suspicion. As she hung up, Dr. Simone Dubois, her mentor, appeared, face grim. "Lila, the board got a tip about the fund. Emergency meeting tomorrow. They have your signature on documents." Lila's stomach dropped. "Simone, it's a setup." Simone nodded. "I believe you, Cher, but it's bad." That evening at Café du Monde, Lila and Ethan shared beignets, the French Quarter's joy a faint shield. Ethan sensed her distraction. "Dad's coming to my hackathon, right?" Lila nodded, but Nathan's sudden interest felt off. Was he involved? A new text from the unknown number hit. Nathan Cole's email. "Find Vanessa Blake." Her breath caught. Nathan. And who was Vanessa? Lila needed a lawful plan. Tomorrow she'd dig into Nathan's emails and call Maggie Reynolds, her neighbor, and a retired lawyer. For Ethan, for justice, she'd uncover the truth. The New Orleans dawn cast a golden haze over Lila Lopez's Garden District home, but tension coiled in her chest. The anonymous email accusing her of stealing $50,000 from Crescent City Medical Center's charity fund had rocked her world, and the whistleblower's clues, first the forged Bayou Events vendor, now Nathan Cole's emails, pointed to her ex-husband's betrayal. At 42, Lila, a hospital administrator, was fighting for her career and her son Ethan's trust, and she'd do it lawfully. Lila sat at her kitchen table, Ethan's old tablet glowing. It was synced to Nathan's cloud from a visit last year. The whistleblower's text, Nathan's email. Find Vanessa Blake, burned in her mind. She searched Nathan's inbox, pulse racing. Emails to Vanessa Blake, a consultant at his tech firm Bayou Innovations, flooded the screen. One, dated a month ago, read, Lila's signature is done. Transfers clean. Meet me at the condo. Lila's blood ran cold. Nathan had framed her, and Vanessa was his partner in crime. She screenshot the emails, hands shaking, and saved them to a USB. This was evidence, but not enough for court. Lila called Maggie Reynolds, her neighbor and a retired lawyer. Maggie, Nathan, and someone named Vanessa forged my signature. I've got their emails. Maggie's voice was firm. Come over. We'll strategize. At Maggie's Creole cottage, jazz humming, she reviewed the files. It's a start, Lila, but the money's offshore. We need Vanessa's role confirmed or Nathan's bank records. Lila's jaw clenched. The board meets today. They're ready to fire me. Maggie leaned in. File a grievance, demand an audit. It'll stall them. And track this whistleblower. They're your ace. Lila nodded, resolve hardening. Back home, she drafted the grievance with Maggie's help. Ethan shuffled in, sensing her stress. Mom, is work okay? Dad's texting about a big project. Lila smiled thinly. Just busy, mijo. Nathan was playing Ethan, and it stung. At Crescent City Medical Center, the board meeting loomed. Dr. Simone Dubois met Lila, face tense. They've got emails from your account approving the payment. I know they're fake, but they want suspension. Lila handed over the grievance. It's forged. I'm requesting an audit. Simone nodded. Fight share. You've got this. The boardroom was stern faces. Lila stated her case. My signature's fake. I demand an audit. The chairman agreed, but warned, prove it, Ms. Lopez, or you're out. Lila left, heart pounding. Nathan texted, heard about the board. Coffee? She replied, busy, hiding her suspicion. That evening, she and Ethan hit a French Quarter jazz club, music a brief escape. Ethan nudged her. Dad's acting weird, Mom. Says you're stressed. Lila's gut twisted. Nathan was sowing doubt. Work's tough, mijo, she said, ruffling his hair. At home, a whistleblower text arrived. Vanessa's office. Right drawer. Was this a lead or a trap? Lila called Maggie, who suggested a bold move. Visit Bayou Innovations during lunch, posing as a hospital rep. It's legal if invited, Maggie said. They slipped into Vanessa's office, finding a burner phone in the right drawer with texts about the offshore transfer. Maggie snapped photos. This ties Vanessa to the money, she whispered. As they left, Ethan called, voice shaky. Mom, Dad's here saying you're in trouble. Is it true? Nathan was at her house, twisting Ethan's mind. Lila stormed home, finding Nathan smirking. Tell Ethan you're under investigation, he said. Lila's voice was ice. Get out. He'll know the truth. Nathan left, but Ethan's doubt lingered. Lila hugged him, promising, I'm fighting a lie, mijo. A new whistleblower email arrived with a photo of Nathan and Vanessa at a Bourbon Street bar, time-stamped during the forgery. A note read, They're burying you. Act fast. Lila's resolve steeled. With Maggie's help, she'd expose Nathan, lawfully, for Ethan, for justice. The New Orleans morning shimmered with humidity, but Lila Lopez's Garden District home crackled with tension. The burner phone from Vanessa Blake's office linked her to Nathan Cole's $50,000 charity fund theft, a plot to frame Lila and destroy her career at Crescent City Medical Center. At 42, Lila was a warrior, but Nathan's lies had sown doubt in her son Ethan, and the whistleblower's photo of Nathan and Vanessa plotting pushed her to act. She'd fight lawfully, no matter the cost. Lila met Maggie Reynolds at her Creole cottage, jazz humming softly. Maggie, a retired lawyer, studied the burner phone photos. "This is strong, Lila, but we need Vanessa to confess or Nathan's bank records to nail him," she said. "My DA contact can set up a sting if you confront her." Lila's stomach knotted. Facing Vanessa meant stepping into Nathan's web, but it was her best shot. "Let's do it," she said, clutching Maggie's recording pen. Maggie's plan: approach Vanessa at a charity gala tonight at a French Quarter hotel where she'd speak for Bayou Innovations. "Get her to talk about the money. Stay legal," Maggie urged. Lila nodded, nerves fraying. Ethan was at a friend's, but his words echoed. "Dad says you're in trouble, Mom." Nathan was poisoning Ethan's trust. Lila texted him, "Movie night soon, mijo?" His heart emoji steadied her. She had to protect him. The gala glittered with New Orleans elite. Lila, in a sleek dress, spotted Vanessa by a jazz trio, her smile strained. Lila approached, pen recording. "Vanessa Blake, Lila Lopez, Crescent City Medical, about Bayou events." Vanessa's eyes widened. "I don't know anything," Lila pressed. "I have your emails with Nathan. You forged my signature. Why?" Vanessa hissed, "Back off or you'll regret it." But her fear betrayed her. Nathan appeared, grin sharp. "Lila, crashing my party?" His eyes flicked to Vanessa, a warning. Lila's pulse surged, pen still recording. "Just networking, Nathan. You know Vanessa?" His jaw tightened. "Colleague." He pulled Vanessa away, leaving Lila shaken. She texted Maggie the audio. Nathan interrupted. Vanessa's scared. Maggie replied, "Audio's shaky but useful. Meet tomorrow. DA's got a lead." As Lila left, a waiter slipped her a note. "Whistleblower. St. Louis Cathedral, 3 p.m. alone." Maggie warned of a trap, but Lila had to know. At the cathedral, its pews dim with incense, a figure emerged. Elena Ruiz, the hospital's IT assistant. Lila gasped. "You?" Elena's eyes were red. "Nathan paid me to hack your email for the forgery. My kid's sick. I needed cash. But I couldn't let you fall." She handed Lila a USB. "Nathan's laptop backup, emails, transfers, all of it." Lila gripped the drive, torn. "Why help now?" Elena trembled. "Nathan's dangerous. He knows you're close. I'm leaving town." Lila urged, "Testify. The DA can protect you." Elena shook her head. "He's got powerful friends." She fled. Lila's mind reeled. Elena's betrayal and redemption shifted the game. The drive could end Nathan, but at what risk? Simone called. "Lila, the audit's ongoing, but the board's got more fake emails from you to Vanessa. You need to move fast." Lila's chest tightened. Nathan was escalating. Maggie suggested delivering the USB to the DA and pushing Vanessa to flip, but Ethan's call stopped her. "Mom, Dad's here saying you're lying. I'm confused." Nathan was at her house, twisting Ethan's mind. Lila burst in, finding Nathan smirking. "Tell Ethan you're obsessed with ruining me," he said. Lila's voice was steel. "Get out! He'll know the truth." Ethan's eyes darted between them. Nathan left, but doubt lingered. Lila knelt by Ethan. "Someone's framing me, mijo. I'm proving I'm innocent." Ethan nodded, but uncertainty flickered. At home, Lila reviewed the USB, Nathan's emails, bank records, a letter accusing her. Maggie texted, "DA's meeting Vanessa tomorrow. She's cracking." Lila lay awake. New Orleans' streetcar hum a faint comfort. Nathan was cornered but desperate. She'd push forward for Ethan, for justice, with the law as her shield. The New Orleans dawn painted the Garden District in hues of amber, but Lila Lopez found no comfort in the light. The burner phone and offshore account number from Vanessa Blake's desk were now with Maggie Reynolds' DA contact, inching Lila closer to exposing Nathan Cole's scheme to frame her for stealing $50,000 from Crescent City Medical Center's charity fund. Yet Nathan's manipulation of their son, Ethan, had lit a fire in her. He'd tried to turn her 14-year-old against her, and that betrayal cut deeper than any forged signature. Today, Lila would push back, hard. Maggie called as Lila sipped chicory coffee, her voice clipped with urgency. "The DA's reviewing the evidence, Lila. The burner phone's texts link Vanessa to the offshore account, but we need her to testify against Nathan. My contact's setting up a meeting with her tomorrow. She's cracking under pressure. Your job is to keep digging. The whistleblower's your wild card." Lila's grip tightened on her mug. The whistleblower's texts, pointing her to Nathan's contract, Vanessa's emails, and now the burner phone, had been eerily precise. But their identity remained a ghost, and trust was a luxury Lila couldn't afford. At Crescent City Medical Center, the air buzzed with tension. The audit was ongoing, but whispers of Lila's involvement in the charity fund theft had spread among staff. Dr. Simone Dubois pulled Lila aside in the atrium, her eyes fierce. "The board's meeting again tomorrow. They're leaning toward termination unless you deliver proof. I'm stalling them, but time's short." Lila nodded, her throat tight. "I've got evidence, Simone. It's Nathan and Vanessa Blake. I just need to tie it together." Simone squeezed her arm. "Do it, Cher. We're rooting for you." Lila's phone pinged as she returned to her office. A new whistleblower text. "Nathan's meeting Vanessa at Café du Monde, 1 p.m. Record it. Last chance." Her pulse surged. A public meeting was bold, risky. If she could capture Nathan admitting his role, it could seal her case. But Café du Monde, with its open-air tables and tourist crowds, was a surveillance nightmare. She called Maggie, who agreed to join her. "Bring the recording pen," Maggie said. "I'll bring my phone for backup. If Nathan slips, we've got him." At 12:30, Lila and Maggie staked out a corner table at Café du Monde, the air thick with powdered sugar and jazz from a nearby busker. Lila's heart pounded as she spotted Nathan and Vanessa at a table near the sidewalk, their heads bent close. Nathan's expression was tense, Vanessa's panicked. Lila activated the recording pen, her hands steady despite the adrenaline. Maggie whispered, "Stay low. Let them talk." Through the din, Lila caught fragments. "Can't trace it to me," Nathan said. "You need to take the fall, Vanessa. I'll protect you." Vanessa's voice rose. "You said Lila would be blamed. Now she's digging, and I'm exposed." Lila's blood boiled, but she held still, the pen capturing every word. Nathan's next words chilled her. "If Lila keeps pushing, I'll make sure Ethan knows she's a liar. He'll choose me." The threat to her son was a knife to her heart. Maggie's hand gripped Lila's, a silent anchor. As Nathan and Vanessa stood to leave, a waiter bumped into their table, spilling coffee. In the chaos, a young woman in a hoodie slipped a folded note under Lila's plate and vanished into the crowd. Lila unfolded it, her breath catching. "I'm the whistleblower. Meet me at St. Louis Cathedral, 3 p.m., alone." Maggie's eyes widened as Lila showed her the note. "This could be a trap, Lila. Nathan might be playing you." Lila shook her head. "I have to know who they are. They've been right every time." Against Maggie's protests, Lila headed to St. Louis Cathedral, its spires looming over Jackson Square. The cathedral's dim interior was cool, scented with incense. At 3 p.m., a figure emerged from the shadows, a woman in her 30s, with nervous eyes and a familiar face. Lila gasped. "Javier? No, Elena?" It was Elena Ruiz, the hospital's IT assistant, Javier's sister, who'd helped Lila trace the vendor payment. Elena's voice trembled. "I'm sorry, Lila. I couldn't stay quiet. Nathan paid me to hack your email and plant the vendor approval. I needed the money. My kid's sick. But I couldn't let you take the fall. Lila's mind reeled. Elena was the whistleblower. Why help me now? She demanded. Elena's eyes brimmed with tears. Nathan's dangerous. He's planning to destroy your evidence, and he knows you're close. I've got his laptop backup drive. It has everything, the forgery, the transfers, Vanessa's role. She handed Lila a USB drive, her hands shaking. Take it. I'm leaving town tonight. Lila clutched the drive, torn between gratitude and betrayal. Elena had endangered her, but was now her salvation. The DA needs to know, Elena. You have to testify. Elena shook her head. I can't. Nathan's got friends. Powerful ones. I'm sorry. She fled before Lila could stop her. Alone in the cathedral, Lila felt the weight of the truth. Elena's drive could be her ticket to justice, or a Pandora's box. That evening, Lila and Maggie reviewed the drive's contents at Maggie's cottage. It was a gold mine. Nathan's emails ordering the forgery, bank records of the offshore transfers, even a draft letter to the board accusing Lila. Maggie grinned. This is enough for the DA to charge Nathan, and Vanessa if she doesn't flip. We'll present it to the board tomorrow. But Lila's relief was cut short by a call from Ethan. Mom, Dad's at the house again. He's mad, saying you're trying to ruin him. I don't know what to believe. Lila raced home, finding Nathan in her living room, his face a mask of rage. Ethan stood frozen, eyes wide. Lila, tell Ethan the truth, Nathan snapped. You're obsessed with dragging me down. Lila's voice was steel. Ethan, your dad's lying. He framed me to cover his crimes. I have proof. Ethan's face crumpled, torn between his parents. Nathan sneered. Good luck proving that in court. He stormed out, but his threat lingered. As Lila hugged Ethan, promising to explain everything, her phone buzzed. A text from the DA's office, forwarded by Maggie. Vanessa Blake agreed to testify. Nathan's being questioned tomorrow. The tide was turning, but Nathan's influence and Ethan's doubts loomed large. Tomorrow's board meeting would be Lila's last chance to present the truth. With Elena's drive, Vanessa's testimony, and Maggie's strategy, she'd face Nathan in a legal showdown. For justice, for Ethan, for her future in the city she loved. The New Orleans courtroom buzzed with anticipation, its high ceilings echoing the weight of the moment. Lila Lopez stood at the plaintiff's table, her heart pounding but her resolve unshaken. Today, she'd face Nathan Cole, the man who'd framed her for stealing $50,000 from Crescent City Medical Center's charity fund in a hearing that would decide her future. With Elena's USB drive, Vanessa Blake's testimony, and Maggie Reynolds' legal guidance, Lila was armed with truth. But Nathan's influence and her son Ethan's wavering trust loomed like storm clouds over the Mississippi. The past week had been a crucible. Vanessa, cornered by the DA, had confessed to forging Lila's signature and funneling the funds to Nathan's offshore account, desperate to save herself. Elena, the whistleblower, had vanished after handing over Nathan's laptop drive, but its contents, emails, bank records, a draft letter accusing Lila, were damning. Maggie had worked tirelessly, coordinating with the DA to build a case. Yet Nathan's tech firm, Bayou Innovations, had deep ties to New Orleans elite, and his lawyer, a shark in a tailored suit, was ready to twist the narrative. Lila glanced at Ethan, seated in the gallery with Maggie. At 14, his face was a mix of hope and confusion. Nathan's lies had shaken him, but Lila's honesty, telling him about the frame-up, sparing the ugliest details, had kept him by her side. I believe you, Mom, he'd whispered last night, hugging her in their Garden District home. That trust fueled her now. She adjusted the recording pen in her blazer, a symbol of her lawful fight, and met Maggie's steady gaze. You've got this, Lila, Maggie mouthed. The judge, a stern woman with a reputation for fairness, called the hearing to order. The hospital board, present to assess Lila's reinstatement, watched closely. Dr. Simone Dubois, Lila's mentor, gave her a nod from the crowd. The DA presented the case: Nathan and Vanessa's conspiracy to embezzle and pin it on Lila. Vanessa took the stand, her voice trembling. "Nathan planned it," she said, avoiding his glare. "He said Lila was an easy target, divorced, overworked. I forged her signature for the Crescent consulting payment. The money went to his account." Gasps rippled through the room. Nathan's lawyer pounced, painting Vanessa as a scorned lover fabricating lies. "Ms. Blake has no proof Mr. Cole orchestrated this," he sneered. Lila's stomach churned, but Maggie signaled her to stay calm. The DA introduced Elena's drive, projecting Nathan's emails on a screen. One, to Vanessa, read, "Lila's out of the way once the board fires her. The fund's ours." The board members shifted, their skepticism turning to Nathan. His lawyer objected, claiming the emails were hacked, but the judge overruled. "Authenticity's verified," she said. Lila took the stand, her voice clear despite the knot in her chest. "I've served Crescent City Medical Center for 15 years. I'd never steal from patients who need that fund. Nathan framed me to cover his theft, and he used our son to hurt me." She detailed the whistleblower's clues, the burner phone, the forged contract. Nathan's face was stone, but his eyes betrayed panic. The DA played the Café du Monde recording, Nathan's voice chilling. "If Lila keeps pushing, I'll make sure Ethan knows she's a liar." Ethan's gasp from the gallery broke Lila's heart, but she held firm. Nathan testified, his charm dialed up. "I'm a businessman, not a thief. Lila's bitter about our divorce. She's fabricating this to ruin me." But his lies unraveled under the DA's cross-examination. Bank records showed the $50,000 in his offshore account, and Vanessa's testimony tied him to every step. The judge's gavel fell. "Mr. Cole, the evidence is overwhelming. You're remanded for trial on charges of embezzlement and fraud. Ms. Lopez, you're cleared of all accusations." The board reinstated Lila on the spot, Simone beaming. As Nathan was led away, his eyes met Lila's, not with anger, but defeat. She felt no triumph, only relief. Ethan ran to her, hugging her tightly. "You did it, Mom." Lila kissed his forehead. "We did it, mijo." Outside, the French Quarter sparkled, jazz notes floating from a street band. Maggie joined them, grinning. "Told you, Lila. Truth wins." The DA later confirmed Nathan faced years in prison. Vanessa, for cooperating, got probation. The charity fund was restored, with Lila overseeing its protection. 3 months later, Lila stood in her new office at Crescent City Medical Center, now deputy director. The promotion came with a raise, easing the financial strain of single motherhood. Her home, once a battleground, was again a sanctuary, filled with Ethan's laughter and the aroma of gumbo. Ethan had met Nathan's other child, a toddler named Lucas, and was navigating his role as a big brother. Nathan, in counseling, sent apologetic letters, but Lila kept boundaries for Ethan's sake. One evening, Lila and Ethan joined Maggie and Simone at a jazz club in Marigny, the music weaving through their laughter. A new friend, Dr. Marcus Tate, a kind pediatrician, sat beside Lila, his warm smile hinting at possibilities. "To new beginnings," Maggie toasted, raising a glass. Lila clinked hers, her heart light. New Orleans had tested her, but its spirit, resilient, vibrant, had carried her through. The truth had hurt, but it had freed her. For Ethan, for herself, Lila Lopez would keep moving forward, one lawful step at a time, toward a future as bright as a Mardi Gras sunrise.